Ghosts in the hospital corridor. That night, the old hospital stood in silence. Dim neon lights flickered in the long hallway, the ticking of the clock audible in the silence. The hallway seemed endless, dark and eerie, with the smell of medicine mixed with rust and dust. A new nurse named Rena was assigned to the night shift. Unaccustomed to the quiet of the hospital, her heart pounded as she entered the main hallway. The shadow of an old wheelchair appeared at the end of the hallway, suddenly moving on its own, creaking softly on its rusty wheels as it turned toward the morgue. The door to the room was ajar, and from inside came a soft whisper. "Please, don't leave me here." Rena swallowed, gripping the flashlight with trembling hands. She took a hesitant step, pushing open the creaking door, the cold air greeting her face. The smell of formaldehyde hit her nose as she saw the rows of morgue drawers. One of the drawers was slightly open, and from it came the sound of heavy breathing. The drawer slid, and a pale figure slowly crawled out. His eyes were blank, his tangled hair covering his face, his lips trembling. "Still here!" Rena screamed. The door to the room closed by itself. The fluorescent lights flickered, and the figure approached with long, sharp-nailed hands, leaving a trail of blood on the floor. "What do you want?" Rena asked in fear. The figure stopped, his eyes watering, his face scarred. "I am trapped." Suddenly, another whisper echoed throughout the hallway. Black shadows emerged from the walls, some crawling with mutilated bodies, others walking without faces, all staring at Rena. The sound of crying filled the air, the hallway growing narrower and colder. Rena's breath turned to white steam. "You can hear us." The voices merged, echoing eerily. Rena shivered violently, covering her ears, but the sound continued. The spirits surrounded her, pointing to their chests. "We're still trapped here." With a trembling voice, Rena began to pray. The spirits stopped moving, their cries subsided, and the whispers turned into sighs of relief. A faint light appeared, and one by one the spirits faded, and the room grew warmer. However, one female spirit remained. Her eyes turned a fiery red. "You don't belong here." A black shadow enveloped her, pushing Rena against the wall. The spirit grabbed her by the throat. "You must stay with us." As Rena was about to lose her breath, a white light appeared from the end of the hallway. The other spirits reappeared, restraining the woman. "Let her come back," they shouted. A shrill scream rang out, the walls shook, the lights shattered, and sparks flew. The woman's spirit disintegrated into black smoke, vanishing into the darkness. The other spirits bowed to Rena, then vanished with the light. The hallway was empty again, but Rena knew it was real. With difficulty, she made her way out. The night air welcomed her, the full moon shining, and she was grateful to have escaped alive. But the sound of the wheelchair wheels returned. From inside the hallway, the wheelchair moved on its own, carrying a piece of paper that read, "You're not finished yet." Rena froze, then heard the sound of a child crying from inside. The cry called her name, "Rena." The hairs on the back of her neck stood on end. The hospital door closed by itself, the paper in her hand burning, leaving only ash. The lights throughout the building went out, the windows rattled, and the voices of the spirits rang out again. Rena ran as fast as she could, but whispers followed. "Don't leave us." She cried in fear, her body going limp, until she finally fell. Turning around, the hospital corridor stretched all the way to where she had fallen, with spirits waving from within. Her hand was pulled by a pale arm that emerged from the ground, then suddenly released. Rena ran aimlessly, but the path ended in a dead end. The shadows of the spirits surrounded her on all sides, their voices united. "You belong to us now." Rena screamed hysterically, then silence fell. The street was empty again. The hospital stood still, as if nothing had happened. Only a piece of paper was left on the street, reading, "I was with them." The paper flew away in the wind, disappearing into the darkness. The hospital still stood proud, the hallways long and deserted, and the ghosts still waited for their next victim. "Tell us what happened to you that night in the hospital," If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and like it.